I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
What's up, everybody? We are back here talking about Meet the Frasers. We have so much exciting stuff to get into, and we're going to be talking all about it coming up. But I want to go ahead and introduce my panel because we have so much to get to. Lover of all things, reality TV, On is in the building. Say what's up, On.
Hi, guys.
Lover of all things, E-reality, we have Ashley.
Hi, guys.
And Karla's here. She is obsessed with mediums. We've got her right here. Karla.
Hi, everyone.
And my name's Rachel Swindler. I am your reality insider, and I am so excited to be here. And we have a really special guest in-house right now, so yay! I need a little bit of a drum roll if we could just all do a drum roll here. We have the man himself, Matt Fraser, in the building.
Hey,
Matt.
Everyone, it's great to be here with you.
Oh my gosh.
So good to have you.
Yes, we're so excited. We've been obsessing over you and this show for the past couple of weeks, so it's so cool.
I know, you're here. And you're in your house. We get to see your house.
I just want to go ahead and start out by saying, or asking, how did this show come about? Like, how did Meet the Frasers, how did it come about? We're just so curious.
You know, that's a really good question. So I've actually been getting offers for TV shows, I want to say for about 10 years now, because,
wow.
I've been doing this for 10 years, being a psychic medium. And when I first started, I was getting calls from Hollywood, but nothing seemed right to me. They wanted me to do TV shows like Ghost Hunting or, Police Detective or Psychic Matchmaker, and nothing was really true to me. So I said, you know what? Let me put it on hold and let me just do me. Let me just work on what I want to do, and that's my live events, my shows, and help people reconnect with their loved ones. So, literally I would get, emails every week saying, we have a really great show idea. We'd love to have you on TV. And, I rejected them all. And then one day a phone call came in that changed everything. I got a call from MGM on the West Coast in Los Angeles, and they were like, hey, we love you. We're obsessed with you. We really want to make a TV show about you. So I said, well, listen, if you want to make a TV show about me, I don't want a show that's already scripted. I don't want to go and, there's nothing spooky about me. I don't want to go into haunted houses. I want it to be true to me and true to my life. So they said, okay, let's make it happen. And then next thing you know, they came down, they interviewed the family. They said, this is fantastic. And then just like that, cameras were at the door and Meet the Frasers was born.
Oh my God.
I love it. So cool. Wait, I have a question for you. So were you already interviewing celebrities at this point?
So, yeah. So, for my whole career before the TV show, is I already had a book published. I already had, a 2-year waiting list for private readings. I was touring the country, and I had celebrity clientele. So that was all going on beforehand. And, it's been an amazing journey. And to be honest with you, I never needed a TV show. I did this, I wanted to do this, and I did this because I wanted to show, my followers and the people who follow me, not only my life as a psychic, but also my life behind the scenes. Because before this, I've been, people know me from being on TV and radio shows across the nation. I've been on, Fox News and NBC Morning News to CBS Radio. You name it, I've done it. So now people get to see the behind the scenes because they've seen me give readings. A lot of my readings have gone viral online, but now they get to see what it's like, living with me day to day, because, what I'm hoping this show does is it demystifies the realm of psychic ability. People still think that a psychic medium is somebody who sits at home and is cross-legged and tranced, side, saging and smudging, and that's just not me. I do live a normal life, and I am a normal guy. I just so happen to hear and see The Departed.
So crazy and so cool. Can you tell us, what has the show done for you guys this far? What kind of opportunities have you seen? Have you felt like there's been good feedback? What has changed for you guys since the show started airing?
Well, I got to tell you, the feedback has been fantastic. Everybody has been loving the show so far. I have been really, really excited, to hear the comments and to see, such amazing support from my fans and followers, and also from the e-community. It's amazing how word is just getting around, and that, people have come up to my parents, they've come up to Alexa and her parents, and it's like, all of a sudden it just, put the whole family on the map because they weren't used to it before. Alexa was Miss Rhode Island, but in terms of my family, they never had that. So, they've been really having a lot of fun with it. And in terms of, opportunities, I think that the best opportunity is that fans get to now see the behind the scenes of things. I mean, one of the best opportunities was the fact that, people get to see me give readings for Dorinda Bedley. I always say that name when I say Melody. Bedley, from Real Housewives, and, Dr. Paul Nassif from Botched. But you can remember that beforehand, I had celebrities that I would read for, but it was always in private. They would have they'd have a private reading or be on the waiting list. And now people get to go and experience glances into these readings during the TV shows. And also, they get to be a part of the book deal, which I thought was really fun because they got to follow me to Simon & Schuster and see what that was all about and what that was like.
Yeah, that was totally cool. I'm interested on your wait list of possible celebrities. Is there any celebrity that you're dying to give a reading for, or that you can maybe tease to come, maybe later in the season?
Oh, are there any readings I could tease to come? Not really. Once I'm on my private reading list, it's almost like a HIPAA. Like I can't say because they paid for a session, so I can't out them like that. But you will see me give some readings on some other daytime talk shows. You'll see that. And you'll also see some podcasters that I read for as well. I just read for, it just came out, I think, yesterday, for Jana Kramer. And, and her...
Mike Cosson, her husband.
I don't know if that was her husband or her fiance.
It's her husband, yeah.
Perfect. So I got to meet them and connect with them. I can't forget Gretchen and Slade.
Yes.
The Real Housewives.
I've been making the rounds. So it's been pretty interesting. And, I didn't realize that everybody in Los Angeles has a podcast.
Yeah.
Everyone.
I have like 5 podcasts.
Yeah.
So.
But I have a question for you. So you guys are an amazing family, super funny. My question is, after cameras arrived to the house for the first time, did the dynamic change from your real life to the life that we see on the show? Or this is how you guys are? I mean, something changed with the crew at home all day?
That's a really good question. And I got to say that my family are not TV people. I mean, you'll see that in episode 1. We're not somebody who was trained to say, oh, don't do this or don't do that. Or, just me, for example, I didn't realize that everything on reality TV was real and that they show everything. Basically they came in and said, okay, just be yourselves, whatever you're going to do, you're going to do. So like here I was, putting on my man Spanx, using the bidet, washing my rear end, going in the shower with the cats, not realizing that those things were going to make it on TV. So I think that, when the cameras came, it didn't change the dynamic. But to be honest with you, I wish I would have told my family to zip their mouth and to be a little bit more filtered.
No,
we love it.
I didn't realize it was going to be real. But what you see is real. We didn't know any better. We were stupid.
I love it.
I love it though.
How's Angela doing? That's what I want to know.
Yes.
We love Angela.
What does she think about you saying she's a disaster and like all these other things? Is she okay with this?
She is a hot mess. My mother, God, what the hell I'm going to do with her? Because she just, I'll tell you, she has no shame. She beats to the tune of her own drum there. And, she's still coming to the events with her slippers on. She doesn't care what anybody says about her. Yesterday she came over and she was wearing my grandfather's dead sweater. So I said, what the hell are you doing? Why do you got on my dead grandfather's sweater? And she says to me, oh, I wanted him to see the TV show. I wanted him to see the new episode, so I wore it.
Oh my God, I love her.
She's amazing.
I says, that sweater's got holes in it. I said, you look like you came from the landfill. But hey, you know what?
That's so
She's not
funny.
trying to impress anybody. She's just being herself. So that's all.
She's definitely herself, and I love it.
I think the question we're all dying to ask is, are you able to do readings over Skype like this, or can you pick up on anything?
Yeah, absolutely. So I actually want to come to Ashley first, because I actually have your grandfather with you.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Pardon?
Wait, sorry, what'd you say?
Your grandfather passed on? Can you hear me?
Yes. So I have 2 grandfathers that have passed.
I feel like, was this your dad's one that you were closest to, your dad's dad?
My mom's dad.
was the one that you were closest with?
Yeah, Pops is what we called him.
Yes, that's who I want to talk to, because he's stepping forward when I'm connecting. And first of all, this was a man who had many issues here in the physical world. Because when I'm connecting with him, immediately he's telling me that he couldn't breathe here in this world. There was a lot of issues with his lungs, and he tells me that there was a lot of fluid issues that he dealt with. And know that one of the things that he's letting you know is that he is okay on the other side and watching over all of you. He tells me I have to say happy birthday. He's whispering that in my ear. So
That is crazy. My birthday was just like 2 weeks ago.
Aww.
This way of just letting you know that he's wishing you a happy birthday. He's also talking about a new baby being born into the family as well. So, was there just a pregnancy, or did you just find out somebody's pregnant?
No, not yet. Oh my gosh.
Oh, I'm gonna buy the test after this.
He's actually showing me a little girl on the other side. So when I see that, it's his way of acknowledging that there's going to be a new baby born into the family, and his way of acknowledging that, because what happens is that anything that comes from God, you know, our loved ones see. So when we're about to have a baby, or when something's about to happen, they see that from the other side. He's also wants you to know how proud he is of you, by the way, because he tells me that he's been watching over you every day, and it's been really hard since his departure. But what he's so happy about is that the family was all able to be there before he had died, and that he was able to see everybody. Because he wants to thank you all for rushing in to come and see him and to say goodbye to him. He does tell me that at the end he couldn't talk and he couldn't communicate. It was very hard for him. He talks about like having some issues with his throat or whatever, but he says to me, please let her know that I am okay and that I am with her.
Oh my gosh, that's so amazing.
Oh my God.
Thank you so much.
Oh,
I know, I have a tear coming out.
Because they whisper to me and they tell me things. Was he supposed to go in for surgery? What was with the surgery?
You know, he had a lot of ailments, and his heart was the crazy problem. He died suddenly, but he was in and out of the hospital a lot. I don't think he had a surgery plan per se, but he constantly was at the doctor's office, and he had a pacemaker. So he had to get that replaced and checked up, and batteries. It was like a whole lifetime situation.
What's so crazy is that I felt like when I'm connecting with him, like that he was going in for a procedure. There was some type of thing that he was supposed to go in for, and that he had to go in because he died. Like, I feel like he wasn't supposed to die at the time. And then,
Oh my God.
do you know what it was?
Okay. So I've been in LA, and he was back in Kentucky. So I wasn't here for all of it, but he was diagnosed with pneumonia 2 nights before he died. And so I think he was going to go back to the hospital. My mom was going to take him that next day to do something. I have to ask her, because it's like you kind of block that stuff out towards the end.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, this is just his way, because he says to me the one thing that he wants you all to know is that there was nothing else that could have been done for him. He tells me that his body was so weak and breaking down that no matter what happened, he says, please let them know. He says, thank you for all the care that you had given to me. Because he actually tells me that your mom was like trying to pull him into the house, or like trying to take care of him. Because he talks about the fact that, you know, she was there every single day and every single night. And he says that those are the best times that he had, was being at home, you know, being with all of you. He says, and thank you for coming back to see him.
Oh my God. You don't understand how much that means to me, Matt. Thank you so much.
You're
That is
right.
incredible. You are so gifted.
Well, I didn't get a TV show by not being, but
Yeah.
he is going and telling me though, because I hear them, and he's telling me that he wants to thank you all for the TV set. Like, I feel like they bought him a TV set.
I think so. We moved him into a facility because my grandmother had just passed away, and I think my mom bought him a new TV because he had one of those really big clunky TVs.
He kept saying, "What's my TV?" And he kept telling me like that your mom was like staying overnight, or like sleeping on the side of him, or staying with him. He just wants to thank you for that.
My God, my mom is gonna literally lose it. You are the best. Thank you. You are just a healer.
Oh my gosh.
I love doing this work, you know, and I love the fact that, you know, what I do is different than anybody out there, because, you know, I don't like it to be sad. You know, of course we're sad when we think about our loved ones, but I like it to be a happy experience. Like, even when your grandfather's here, I gotta tell you, he may have been old, but he was a flirt here in this world. Because even as I'm connected with you, he's flirting with all of you in the studio. And it's just his way of just acknowledging, you know, that he's the same person as when he left.
Yeah, I will say, Matt, that's one of the things I love about your readings, is that you have this ability to bring in comedy and make light. I think we talked about in the last episode. You are able to make light of such a sad or, you know, dark time in people's lives, and that's what makes what you do so amazing and beautiful.
Well, you know
That's
what? I
so
think that there's so
amazing.
much sadness after we lose a loved one, and thinking of them. I mean, it's painful. It's painful to celebrate holidays or to think of them not being a part of our life or not being there. So I think that when the spirit comes through, especially with their personality, it shows us, one, that they haven't changed since they died, and two, that it is really them and that they're always with us. And that's why I love doing this work and why I love my readings so much, is it just shows people that there is an afterlife and that your loved ones are there.
So amazing. I love it. Do you have a favorite read that you've done or anything that really stands out to you that you can share with us?
Oh my God, there's a million. There are.
Sure.
I do. That, I don't think there's a day that goes by that I'm not like shocked or amazed by some of the things that happen or that some of the things that come up.
Yeah.
For example, I think the funniest thing, because, people think when they come to a medium, it's very cut and dry. Like, okay, I'm going to come to a medium and I want to hear from my grandmother, so my grandmother's going to come through. And that's not always how it works. Sometimes, I don't want to say you have to be the bearer of bad news, but like, it's not DJ with the Dead. I can't pick who you want to hear from. It's
DJ with the Dead. Oh my God.
Well, I have a question.
I think my favorite reading or the favorite instance that happened was at a live show. And the way that it works is like I see the departed standing behind you. So like when I'm looking out at the screen, I see your grandfather standing there next to you. Well, when I was at a show, it was like there was this woman all alone in the back row. The last two rows were empty. And there she was, all by herself. And sitting next to her was her brother. And I went over to her and I'm like, oh, your brother had passed. And she was like, no, not for me. And I'm like, oh, no, your brother's here. He's sitting right next to you. And she was like, no, you're not with me. I'm like, are you sure? And she goes, no, honey, I didn't have a brother. She goes, I was an only child. She goes, I don't know who you're picking up on, but it's not me. She goes, you got the wrong person. So I was like so nervous. I'm like, why is this happening? Like, why is this? I didn't know what to do. And the woman's like, she's like, it was probably somebody who was sitting here before me. So I was like, all right. So we let it go. The next thing you know, at the end of the event, the same woman comes up to me and she's like, I'm sorry, I lied. That was my brother, but I hated him. I couldn't stand him.
Oh my God.
The same lady goes to me and she goes, what was the message? So I'm like, what was the message? I said, honey, that was 45 minutes ago. I'm like, you told me you didn't know who it was. I said, I hung up the phone. I don't know what the hell he had to say.
Oh my gosh.
I thought that was the funniest thing because here I was like so dead on accurate. Her brother was coming through, I was describing him and she's like, nope. And then, it really was her brother. She just didn't want to talk to him. And some of those moments I think are so funny because even though we might forget about our loved ones, they never forget about us.
That's so incredible.
That's beautiful.
On, you had a question?
Yeah, so all these people coming to you, my question is really, I'm dying to know, when you just don't want to do anything and want to be with your fiance at home, you still hear voices or like things coming to you all the time, or you have some peace to yourself? Like,
I truly never have peace, but I gotta tell you that my peace has become my own home when my family's not blowing it up. So when we're all alone and we're by ourselves, when the cameras stop, when the family's not here, our vacation isn't going out to amusement park. It's not going to, New York City. Our vacation is being here in the house because we live such busy lives. I mean, our family are here day to day. We work together. We go to an event. Alexa's running around with her fashion career and, being Miss Rhode Island. So when this all happens, like people think it's fun going from like hotel to hotel or from resort to resort or state to state. But at the end of the day, when your life is constantly traveling and constantly being away and constantly being around people, the best vacation is actually just being by yourself and being at home.
One thing I want to ask too, we've seen a lot this season. Alexa is kind of putting the pressure on for wedding bells. Can we predict anything like that in your near future?
Well, I think that Alexa needs to slow down, to be honest with you. Break. And and here's why, because Alexa and I have a 7-year difference between one another. So, I think that here's the facts and here's what I want, because I started my career young, and I started my career, when I was just 19 years old as an EMT and then turned psychic medium. So you're going to know that I already did it all. I already had the opportunities to work at my career, to work at my life, to work at the things that I wanted within life. And the only thing that I don't want is I don't want Alexa to feel as though that she has to put her own dreams aside to be with me. I want her to be able to have it all because Alexa's still young. She just turned 21 years old. I'm 28 years old. So I don't want to propose, and I don't want her to have to put her pageant dreams aside because of a proposal. I want her to be able to go and to do the pageant and, to fulfill that dream. And then, we can talk about getting married or, then a proposal might come. Because the last thing I want is for her to give up her dreams because of me. Because I don't know if you know this, but you can't be engaged and participate in Miss Rhode Island.
Yes, we remember that.
Yeah, that's so crazy. I can't believe they have that rule.
I know.
Seems kind of backwards.
But I'll tell you one thing. If and when we do get married, then she gets to go for a Mrs. Rhode Island, which means that I get to be in the pageant with her, so I'm all about it.
Yes! I love it. I think we're going to have time for probably one more question because we definitely want to dive into tonight's episode as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you have something you want to ask?
I feel like the biggest thing, I got on Instagram. This is a really funny question. I told everyone earlier that we were going to be talking to you, and this came up a few times. It was kind of more or less like, can you predict the future? One said, do you know about natural disasters before they happen, or do you know about major world events before they occur?
No. Listen, I don't even know when my mother's going to show up at my door. Never mind what. My gift doesn't work that way. So, everybody's different, right? So there are some mediums that do predictions like that. There are some mediums that, can sense like past lives or things like that. But that's not me. The way that it works for me is that I'm primarily a medium. So I see your loved ones with you, I connect with them, and then, when it comes to the future, predicting future stuff, the information just doesn't come out of thin air. So like, I can't tell you who you're going to marry, but your grandfather can. So, he'll come to me and say, I see my granddaughter getting married at such and such an age and with such and such a person. So that information comes from them, not from me. So when it comes to world events, nobody has come and said to me, there's going to be a catastrophe that had happened or that's about to happen. But I can share with you one story. I know we're running out of time. But I wrote about this in my new book, When Heaven Calls. When I was an EMT and I was working at the World Trade Center in Boston, I loved my job. I was just, I was great at my job. I loved it. I was like, the nurse in high school, that was me. Like I was the nurse at the World Trade Center. Somebody fell down, I was there. Somebody had, a diabetic coma, I was there. Somebody didn't feel good, I was taking their temperature because I worked privately contracted.
Oh.
So they contacted me one day and they're like, hey, Matt, we have a detail going on for the Boston Marathon. Would you like to work it? So I said, absolutely. Let me get out of the office. I get to be outside, be part of the Boston Marathon. I would love to do it. So I was the type of person where I don't stop working. I go into work sick and all. I don't care. And that morning of the Boston Marathon, for some reason, I woke up, I was ready to go, and then all of a sudden I started to feel so sick. And there was just like this internal feeling like, don't go, don't go, don't go. And I don't know, still to this day, I don't know why I did it, but I picked up the phone and I called my boss and I said, I can't come to work today. I'm not feeling well, I have to stay home. And he didn't give me any problem whatsoever because it was not like me. I never did that. I never took a sick day. So he was like, yeah, Matt, stay at home, don't worry about it. And then the minute, I hung up the phone, everything passed. Those feelings went away, everything was fine. And then how crazy is it that was the day of the Boston Marathon?
Oh
and where I was supposed to be was at the finish line at the Boston Marathon where the bomb went off.
Wow.
So I know that God saved me that day. And I know that I was forewarned. Unfortunately, they didn't tell me everything that had happened or what was going to happen. Thank God they didn't because I wouldn't have wanted to know because I would have felt responsible. But, luckily, they made sure that I wasn't there at that moment. And I know that was, a guardian angel protecting me. And the same way that I felt it and I sensed it, I know that our loved ones also watch over us and keep us out of harm's way.
Oh my God, I love that. That is incredible.
Yeah, that's
insane.
That's a beautiful story. I want to ask one more thing before we get out of here. It's been absolutely amazing to chat with you right now. You have, the reading on Ashley, just everything.
My God.
Just absolutely amazing. We know that you just signed with UTA. That was recent for you. How exciting was that for you? And what do you have planned for the future? Tours, anything with your book? What can we expect in the future with Matt Fraser?
I got to tell you, the best thing about signing with UTA is that now we're going to get a little bit more professional here.
Yes.
Because before we were doing live events and we were doing, ballrooms at hotels and event centers and things like that. But now, you know, with so many people wanting to hear from me, from so many people wanting to attend a live audience reading, you know, we're moving the event into theaters because it's going to be a lot better. We won't have Angela at the concession stand with the tape. You know, she'll still be helping. My mom's still going to be there, and she's still going to be in the front, and we're going to find a job for her. I don't know what it is yet. You're going to have to wait till season 2. We're going to have to figure it out. But
So she's not director of special affairs?
I was going to say special affairs. We already know what she's going to be.
Yes, she's going to have to do that. I think we're going to keep her in charge of, like, the meet and greets. I think that's going to be her new job because she's good at talking to the people. Well, somewhat. So that's going to be her new job. But the best thing about signing with UTA is that it allows me to travel more. Because, you know, putting these tours together ourselves, I mean, I have a team, I have a marketing team, and I have people here, but it's so hard when you have to put everybody together and travel and go to state to state to state. So now that I'm working with UTA, it just allows me to reach more people, it allows me to break off into theaters, and it allows me to reach more people and more cities that I weren't able to do before. So I'm really excited about that.
Yay.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
It's incredible.
Yes.
This
Congratulations.
It starts, we're actually heading off to our first kickoff, which is Oklahoma. It's a city I've never been before. I'm coming to Osage Casino there. And then from there, we go to Temecula, California, and then Detroit, Michigan, and some brand new places. So, you know, I haven't opened up my tour schedule in 10 years. It's just so hard to do. Like I said, when you're doing it yourself, you know, with just an in-house team. But having UTA on board, you know, all of these people who have never experienced a live group reading with me, now they can.
That's awesome. Well, we're going to be looking into that because I definitely want to go see you
when
live.
When is Los Angeles?
I know.
Yeah, thank you so much for being with us, Matt. We are loving this season, and we're so excited for what's going to come in the future for you. So thank you so much again for being
Where
here.
can we find you before we go? Can they follow you on Instagram?
Oh, of course. Listen, if the dead people can find me, so can you.
Yeah.
You know, I'm on Instagram. I'm on Snapchat. I'm on Facebook. Just look for the blue check mark. Alexa did. That's how we started dating. She saw the blue check mark.
Yes.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So I hope they'll check me out, you know, online. And also, I just want to remind you all because I can't believe that we're halfway through the season. It's episode 6 we're on now.
Yes. Yes,
it's unbelievable. So if you haven't watched Meet the Frasers yet, it is available on Hulu as well. I want to remind people so they can watch from the very beginning.
Yeah.
Yes, and what about your book as well? Your book is out, and people can buy it on all platforms.
So it's not out yet, but you can pre-order it, and it will ship on March 10th from either Barnes & Noble.
And where is the pre-order? On your website?
You can do it on the website or Barnes & Noble, Target, Amazon.
Oh, everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah, I guess everywhere. It's pretty
I
cool.
love it.
Awesome.
That's amazing.
All right. Well, thank you so much again for being with us, Matt, and
Thank
we're looking
you.
forward to the rest of the season.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank
Bye.
you, Matt.
Have a great night.
Bye.
All right.
Oh my gosh.
That was incredible, you guys. I'm literally freaking out right now. I was not expecting that at all. And I've never been read by a psychic or a medium or anything.
Yeah.
And the fact that he came through with my grandfather is just, I mean, I've been like over here like tearing up the whole time.
Yeah,
Like,
we saw.
it's incredible.
I can't even imagine. That's
So exciting.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, let's get right into the episode since we don't have a ton of time, but we want to make sure that we touch on the episode for our fans out there. Well, let's start out because we have Angela and her customer service, and we see Matt and Maria right in the beginning. They're trying to figure out what are the good parts about working with mom, and they literally can't even think of anything good. I mean, I'd say sense of humor is one. I don't know. What do you guys think?
They cracked me up. We kind of didn't hear much from Matt about what his mom is thinking about this, but I was sitting here watching this episode like, what is Angela thinking right now that she's seeing them talk about her like this? And if my kids were talking to me like this or about me like this, I would be furious at them.
Mm-hmm.
I love her customer service. I think we should all be able to act like her. Like, she thinks the customer's never right. She'll cuss them out. She'll call them at 3, 4 in the morning. All things that I wish I could do.
Yeah, I mean, because what he said later on in the episode, it took her 45 minutes to sell someone a ticket over the phone because she couldn't spell
Verizon or something.
Verizon, right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, so...
Listen, they have accent. I'm like, for me, it's hard to like explain to people things on the phone too because I have an accent. So like, don't blame her.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
it's
what-
fine. And she's what, 50, 60? I don't know.
Yeah,
It's fine.
probably.
I'm 26, so.
Yeah. Well, we also saw too during this episode. We saw Alexa's dad. We saw this is a very touchy subject with Alexa saying he didn't really support her doing Miss Rhode Island Teen. She's about to do Miss Rhode Island, and she's backed off from having this conversation with him because she doesn't want to get into a screaming fest.
Yeah.
So we see them actually. They go to lunch together, and we see. I don't know. I thought he took it pretty well.
I
He
did
did.
too.
I was expecting much more of like a stubborn dad, and he
Yeah.
was very like,
Understanding.
I'm going. Okay.
It's what you want out of your parents, just to support you in whatever you do. And you could tell she wanted him to be there for her so badly, and she didn't want to do the pageant if he was not going to be there watching her. And then he finally said he'll be there, he'll support her, he'll do whatever it takes.
He also like really like saw that she's uncomfortable in her seat, like trying to talk to him about it. I
Yeah.
feel like because she looked very uncomfortable, like very
Nervous.
nervous.
Yeah, yeah.
So like I feel like he understood it and like right away, and that's why he went with her.
Was it the stroking of the ego?
I know, yes, because we had the 3-prong special process.
She better have thanked
But
Matt when
it's
she got
so
home for
smart,
that
though.
3-prong process.
Yeah, so if you were watching the episode, you know we had step 1, which was the ego to build them up. Step 2 is attack. Tell them what's really bothering you. And then step 3, you empower them.
Very
Make them the
smart, Matt.
hero.
Very smart.
It is smart.
Make them the heroes.
I'm taking this home with me.
I know.
so
I was like, I
funny.
need to write this down and use this in everyday life now.
It honestly makes sense though when he like laid it out for us. I was like, oh yes, duh. This is what you do.
Perfect sense. Yeah, I mean, it was nice to see her dad, support her. And I was kind of sitting there, I guess I could see with the whole money situation. And he said he's used to them, wants to go to college, work at 9 to 5, and maybe not understanding that lifestyle a little bit. But I feel like pageants are a really good...
But what money you need for pageant? Can you tell me?
Oh,
Dresses.
God.
Very
The dresses are so
expensive.
expensive.
Pageants
Okay.
are...
So you need to
entry
take care of
fees,
yourself for
everything.
everything.
Yeah,
Yes.
pageants are really...
They're not giving anything. Oh, okay.
Very,
Well, I
very
don't know about
expensive.
pageants.
Yeah.
Yes,
they are.
Yeah, they're very, very expensive. So I can see on that end, but like I said, I think pageants are a really good tool for young women.
Yeah.
Not everybody can do it.
Empowering
too.
them
Like
for
to-
sure. Yeah.
Yes, you learn a lot, gain a lot of friends.
Make you
throughout the
professional.
process.
Yeah. It's a great way to, connect and definitely I feel like get life experience.
And it's also a different way to start in the fashion career
That's
than
true.
to run to audition in Fashion Week in New York.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
love
and we also saw around the end of the episode, we saw Angela and kind of her technology.
Which one?
snafus.
Tweeter or Facebook? or
I wrote all these down.
Snapdaddy?
We had Spacebook, Snapdaddy, Tweeter. I said, you better go, Angela. Yes, okay, talking about social media like that.
I feel like my mom might do that too.
Yeah.
All parents, I
I
think.
feel like, yeah,
Does
same.
anyone's parents know how to use a phone?
Barely.
Barely. My mom will text me, but it'll be like in all lowercase because she probably doesn't know how to capitalize anything or put any exclamation mark.
My
They
mom
love
says a period after
emojis.
everything.
The moms love the emojis.
Oh my
Oh, maybe
They'll
she's
send
voice
the
texting.
whole
She's like,
emojis
"How
ever.
are you?" Period. Hello, honey. Period.
It's the worst.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, and there's just scanning the tickets and all of this stuff and not really doing
Listen, it's
it
all new for
correctly.
her, so let's just give her a break. And she's
love it.
she's trying for him,
She is
She want to be
trying.
part of his life, and
I really
think she's a great mom.
I really enjoyed this episode, to be honest with
Yeah,
you.
yeah, me too.
I liked it because it, again, like I could relate with Alexa a little bit more when they brought in the situation with her dad. I don't know. I felt like I knew them more in this episode. I felt like I was connecting
And that's
with
what
them
we
more.
wanted last episode.
Exactly.
We want to get to know them.
Yeah.
so-
Exactly. So I felt like
Thank
this was definitely a step up.
Yeah.
Because I really felt like I was connecting with them.
And I felt like, too, even though we saw them call out Angela in the beginning, at the end, it kind of brought it all together because no matter what, he said at the end of the day, his mom is his biggest supporter. He can always count on her and lean on her, and she's there all the time, like he was telling us live here tonight. She just shows up at his house unannounced. And that's what family is about. You need a village, you need a community, especially when there's someone like him that is traveling and involved with all these different people. To go home and have family support you and love you, that's everything.
Yeah, 100%. We are going to have to wrap it up here,
Yeah.
guys, because we had that great interview with Matt. Again, thank you so much to Matt Fraser for being with us tonight. We are so excited for the rest of this season. We hope you are too. Let everybody know where they can find you on social media.
You guys can find me on I am on Mekahel on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter.
You guys can find me at Ashley Fultz over on Instagram.
And you can find me on Instagram at Karla Contreras.
And you can find me on Instagram at Rachel Swindler or on Twitter at Rachie Swin. Until next time, we'll see you next week, guys.
Bye, guys.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.